A geisha girl marries an American officer who dumps her, and she's pregnant. A gypsy girl dumps the factory worker for the sexy bullfighter. Opera plots are often steamy and usually somebody dies. The stories are told in a big way with big voices that don't need microphones. Cincinnati's Opera kicked off its 94th season Sunday with Opera in the Park, Washington Park as a matter of fact. 4,000 people attended. The season opened at Music Hall last night with the ever-popular Carmen. As Local 12's Deb Dixon shows us, Cincinnati's Opera is the second oldest in the country. The story behind it is So Cincinnati.
The Germans who came here, the tailors, the butchers, the candlestick makers, brought music to Cincinnati. After union meetings, the men sang together.
Labor songs, folk songs from the old country and whatnot. Out of that grew all of these wonderful traditions of culture in Cincinnati. It spawned the creation of the May Festival, eventually the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, and eventually in 1920, Cincinnati Opera.
For over 50 years, the opera performed at the Cincinnati Zoo Pavilion. In 1972, it moved to Music Hall.
I love the history of the opera in Cincinnati. It's such a grand tradition from the zoo to Music Hall, and it's such an important part of Cincinnati. I don't feel like it's summer in Cincinnati unless you go to the opera.
Opening night is Chin Mai's first Cincinnati opera.
Well, so it looks like a big night. I didn't expect all this. So, yeah, it feels big.
It is big, in the lobby and backstage.
It is like a military campaign to get an opera to happen.
This is the set for Act 1 of Carmen. We're in the town square of Seville, Spain in the 1800s. That's the name of the most famous bullfighter, and of course, the hot cigarette girl falls for him, Carmen.
There's usually like a good storyline on the operas, like Carmen.
And the stories, even though they a lot of times end up as tear jerkers, they just take you away.
You know, you have all the action of like a blockbuster film, like right up on stage.
It is a lot of energy and the talent. I mean, think of the talent on that stage.
Someone who can fill an auditorium of 3,400 people like Music Hall with an unamplified singing voice is a true athlete and worthy of your attention because, first of all, they're making an enormous sound unaided, and they're making a sound that goes right to your heart.
Carmen is sung in French. There are subtitles if you need it. But the words don't seem to matter. It's the music. Patrons can be moved to tears by the beauty of one note. Then you can shout, "Bravo!" Yeah, they really do that. Deborah Dixon, Local 12 News.
There are more Carmen performances and 3 other summer operas, including Silent Night, a new opera by an American composer. It is the true story of the Christmas truce of 1914 when enemies laid down their arms and came out of the trenches for one peaceful night. For ticket information, we have a link on our website under the red Get It button. Nice to have the opera.
That was a great
Cincinnati.
story.
Wasn't it? Yeah.